What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gab Lim. And wala si Maui today. We're going to talk about Gilas versus New Zealand. Napuyat si Maui from watching the game. Lahat tayo puyat from early this morning watching the
We
game.
wanted
Sayang talo.
podcast after, pero
Uh,
sabi namin, masyadong masakit. We're gonna sleep it off
Masakit.
muna.
Baka masakit yung mga mabitaw namin na mga salita kung mag-podcast kami na frustrated, di ba? So, uh, took some time. We're doing the podcast now. So, since we don't have Maui here, I think what we'll do is mag-initial reactions tayo, Gab. And I think we prepared a few questions. True or false or fill in the blanks mamaya.
Burning questions.
Burning questions ba?
Questions. Oh,
We have
let's
some
do this again.
questions
The burning
to
questions.
ask. We will try to answer them. People who are listening, please comment down below your answers to each question that we shared. Maraming nag-comment from the last episode, so we'd love to hear from you guys again ulit ngayon. So let's get started. Gab, initial reactions from the Gilas versus New Zealand performance. Same results, talo pa rin. Maybe would you say a better performance or ganun pa rin?
Ah, it's hard to say a better performance because the same problems hounded Gilas in this game as in the previous game. Threes and defense, pick and roll defense, and nadagdagan pa nga eh. Man-to-man defense. Where was it? At closing out properly, moving your feet. I feel like Gilas had a chance no start ng game. Our offense was definitely clicking better. We were attacking the rim. I think from the timeouts, there was a distinct emphasis by Coach Tim Cone for everyone to attack the rim, to get shots at the rim, not to settle for threes.
Quick threes.
Yeah.
There were a lot of Fs thrown around during that time out.
There were a lot of Fs, and there were a lot of palms to the face by Coach Tim Cone whenever we would settle for those 3-point shots. So I think the offense was okay. It was definitely better than the previous game against Chinese Taipei, where first quarter we just gave it to Justin Brownlee and just hoped that he would get us out of this funk. No, and this time offense came from different people. Chris Newsom got a few buckets. Junmar yung got some buckets in the first quarter. Yung Justin Brownlee. But defensively, doon nakita talaga pa rin sa amin. Yun pa rin yung Achilles heel talaga ng Gilas. It started off by a ton of layups by New Zealand. And that opened up the perimeter. 3-point shooting galore eventually happened. It continued from the first quarter then to the second quarter. Gilas was getting broken down over and over again. You cannot allow straight line drives to the basket. Junmar was getting taken off the dribble, was getting beaten off the dribble. Justin
To be
Brownlee
fair,
himself.
hindi lang si Junmar, di ba? Justin Brownlee was guilty of that. Nagalit din si Coach Tim Cone kay Brownlee for like letting people just lay up every time, di ba? So it wasn't just Junmar this time. Like, it was the entire team, basically.
It was the entire
Nagalit
team.
Si Coach Tim Cone. Yeah.
Si Chris Newsom, actually, si Carl Tamayo, once he came in, I think he allowed 3 to 4 blow-bys. The first one led to a 3-point play by Ngatay. And the ire of Coach Tim Cone, I do remember there was a timeout right after that. And he cursed the hell out of Carl Tamayo. That was a dumb foul! So, but yeah, si Carl Tamayo, if there was ever... We have been clamoring for Carl Tamayo to get more minutes. But if there was a game or some highlights that proved Coach Tim Cone right in limiting Carl Tamayo's minutes, this is it. He was horrible defensively. I mean, come on, Carl. You got to take some lessons from your former teammate, si Jerry Abadiano, on how to move your feet when you're closing out, how to anticipate the moves of the offensive player. At si Jerry Abadiano, Sean Kitevis, and si EJ Goliana are the three that come to mind that do this really well. when they close out, they anticipate the move of the shooter immediately. Ang galing nila mag-anticipate. He should take them notes. He should be coached by Jerry Abadjan on how to do that because grabe, he was beaten over and over again. And I think he played 4 or 5 minutes in the first quarter or in the second quarter, and immediately he was not reinserted even for more than 2 minutes in for the rest of the game. And it continued. Everyone, yung Calvin Oftana, yung Kevin Kiambao, they were just letting people drive. We can't do that. We can't do that. In the international game, you get broken down and help is slow because si Junmar was the one helping and he isn't mobile enough to do that. So a lot of straight line drives, a lot of layups, eventually leading to a lot of threes because you get broken down on the inside, the defense collapses.
Scramble na yun.
Yes, scramble, you spray out to the perimeter, rotation, pass, wide open shot. I don't understand how we could let Ngatay score 19 points in the first half on us. I mean, at some point, you gotta zone in on them, much like what New Zealand did in the fourth quarter to Justin Brownlee. When he was getting so hot, they were double teaming, they were forcing the ball out of his hands, they were preventing him from getting good looks. We were just letting Atay get good looks all first half long. I don't understand how we could let that happen. After, in the previous game, Chen did the exact same thing. We just let Chen do whatever he wanted on the offensive end. I don't understand how this keeps on happening, how we're not adjusting, how we're not trying to shut the game plan, the offensive game plan down of the opposing team. But offense-wise, okay naman eh. The problem was we were just not getting stops. I know the announcers. I forgot who was calling the game from the Philippine side, but I think si Anthony Suntay and some other guy. They were saying lahat ng basket ng Gilas is getting answered by a 3 by New Zealand. Grabe ang hot shooting. Sa utak ko, madaling maging hot shooting kung puro open yung looks nila. So
practice shots.
Practice shots. Yeah. Those are shots that they get in practice. Those wide open looks. So a very, very disappointing second quarter. I think the first quarter was better than in the Chinese Taipei game, but eventually you get broken down defensively that many times. It will lead to a lot of open shots. And it's proven. They shot 13 of 26 for the entire game. 50%. Naulit nila yung ginawa nila sa MOA, Sammy. If you remember in MOA when they were here, they shot more than 50%.
More than 50% then, yeah.
Yeah, yung from 3-point range. So, how can they do this to us twice? Diba? At some point, we gotta know that they want to shoot threes, that they want to get open threes, and we have to shut that down. And we have to be disciplined enough on defense not to get beaten every time we close out. The second half, I don't know what to say, but kudos to Dwight Ramos and Justin Brownlee, especially Justin Brownlee. Puso, lang masasabi ko, he willed Gilas back into this game. It wasn't anything miraculous they did on defense. They went zone for a stretch in the third quarter. Actually,
probably the only defense they can play.
Yun nga eh, Sammy. This was the baffling part to me. The defense worked. The zone defense worked. The small ball worked. It was Carl Tamayo at the 5, Brownlee, and then Oftana, and then or si KQ, and it worked. We were not getting beat on the inside. Yeah, we allowed some offensive rebounds, but we were getting defensive stops. And then suddenly, start ng fourth quarter, Coach Tim Cole went back to AJ Edo and Junmar Fajardo and man-to-man defense. I'm like,
man-to-man,
what? It takes me back to, I forgot which game was this in the Olympic qualifier, Sammy, if you remember. It was either Latvia or Georgia. He did go zone. Coach,
yeah. I think it was Latvia.
Coach Tim, I do remember yung that time out si Coach Tim Cole nagsabi, okay, we didn't run this in practice, but we're gonna go zone.
Yeah.
Diba? If you remember that. And it
Pinag-usapan
worked.
natin yun. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
worked, diba? And then suddenly, in the fourth quarter, he didn't go back to it. I'm like, what? The defense worked. And same thing here. The zone worked. It was getting us stops. Then suddenly you go back to man, back to a double big lineup, and suddenly we're allowing the same type of shots that we were allowing in the first half. So I did not get
Mm.
that from adjustment standpoint or from a game planning standpoint.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have stuck a little bit more to the zone, diba?
Yeah.
Um,
I had the same
but
reaction. Akala ko nga he would have pulled off like a Coach Gold or Coach Tab na baka bumalik siyang man and then like a few possessions later back to zone just to confuse them. I kept
yeah,
waiting for that, anticipating that they would go back to zone after going man to man, and then wala. It never really happened. So nagulat din ako doon. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, so and actually we'll get to that point later. That's one of my points. We just lack defensive creativity. If you look at Chinese Taipei, if you look at New Zealand, they throw different looks at you defensively. Full court press, full court trap, half court trap, zone defense. Ang daming tinethrow ng mga kalaban sa atin na mga looks defensively, and tayo we just go either 2-3 zone for a short while or man to man. It walang defensive creativity. But I do have to give flowers to, again, Dwight Ramos and Justin Brownlee. We would not have been in this game if it weren't for those two. They were amazing in the second half, especially Justin Brownlee. 7 of the 9 threes. That just goes to show you how uh, how much we lack shooting. That we have to resort to Justin Brownlee shooting 7 threes, hitting 7 threes for us to even get close into this
To,
game.
to get sort of close. Kasi hindi
Yeah.
pa rin eh. Talo pa rin tayo by ano eh.
And actually, ito yung sinasabi ko, Sam, nung ating Gilas versus Macau Black Bears na podcast. It's not sustainable to have Justin Brownlee come save us because in the fourth quarter, alam na ng New Zealand na pupuntahan natin si Justin Brownlee. I think it was a 4-point game or something to that effect. New Zealand just trapped Justin Brownlee or denied Justin. They knew we were going to Justin Brownlee. And I think Maui and I chatted this in our group chat. Yung sabi namin, our offense was too much Justin Brownlee. Alam na ng New Zealand to. Actually, this was the same defense that New Zealand threw in their last matchup in New Zealand. That they knew we were gonna go to Justin Brownlee. So they just kept on trapping Justin Brownlee. Yung forcing the ball out of his hands and making his teammates try to make a play. Sayang, we should not have gone just solely to Justin Brownlee in the fourth quarter. We should have diversified our offense. Alam na eh, basang-basa na ng New Zealand kung anong gagawin natin. We're just gonna try to ride the hot hand of Justin Brownlee. And on the other end, I do have to give credit to New Zealand, especially Taylor Britt in that fourth quarter. Woo-wee! Lahat blow-by after blow-by on Chris Newsom, Scotty Thompson, or whoever you put on him. Getting to the rim. He hit a tough layup over AJ Edo at one point. He had an answer for every Gilas basket, every Gilas run, and he just finished off Gilas. It was Ngatay in the first half, and it was Taylor Britt in the second half who just killed Gilas Pilipinas. Sayang. There were some positives, definitely the performance of Dwight Ramos and Justin Brownlee, but overall, sayang. Sayang. Sammy.
Speaking of Taylor Britt, I think it was also the same in their previous matchup. I distinctly remember si Taylor Britt killed us in the end game sa fourth quarter. So this guy is like a Mr. Fourth Quarter, and I think even the people who were covering yung game kahapon sa Philippines, they called it eh. Sabi nila, oh, they're going to close this out with Taylor Britt. They knew that was going to happen, and that guy performed. So shout out to him. Shout out to Ngatay for hitting 5 of 5 from threes. Yeah, they deserve to win, to be honest. But siguro nothing much to add from what you said, pero how would you like how did you feel about like this game? at least did you feel better like watching it? Like it was more exciting, I would say, but
First
talo pa
half,
rin, di
I
ba?
first half I felt the same way as in the Chinese Taipei game.
Frustrating.
And yung end the first half of the Gilas Macau game, I wanted to throw everything at my phone because I was watching on my phone. I wanted to throw my phone actually, but come on, we're getting beaten the same way again. Just three after three after three, wide open threes. So yun, but in the second half, I defaulted to a casual Gilas fan and just hoped that Justin Brownlee can deliver us the win because he was pretty amazing in that second half. But yeah, my fears came to fruition. Again, I hate being right. It's not sustainable to ride Justin Brownlee for that amount of time. It's just not possible. It's not sustainable. They're eventually gonna find out that what we're trying to do is just gonna give Justin Brownlee the ball. And wasn't this the criticism of Chot Reyes? The first play that we relied too much on our naturalized player in the first
Mhm.
place. Why are we still doing this? Why are we relying so much on one player? We have a ton of talent on our team. Why is it that we're trying as much as possible to ride the shoulders of one player, yung our naturalized player? We're too import centric. It's PBA style, too import centric. We can't be that
That's a
way.
good point.
We
That's a
can't
good
be
point.
that way. Sammy, go.
Siguro one thing worth mentioning, they were able to control the fouls. I think they had 26 nung game against Chinese Taipei. Justin Brownlee fouled out. Ngayon, they only had like 16, 15. But uh, nung first half, nung first quarter, Coach Tim Cone was frustrated with his team kasi marami pa rin yung mga maninipis na fouls, yung mga tiki-taki fouls. He threw a lot of F-bombs there like, stop fouling, just play solid defense, be aggressive. So, again, like, much better, I would say, than the first game, but still kind of the same problems, which is what you
Yeah,
mentioned.
Sam, we limited our turnovers. We had halos the same amount lang with New Zealand, same amount of free throws. Rebounding was not a glaring disparity. I think it was 41 to 33.
Although talo tayo
Three,
this time, yeah.
yeah, although this time wasn't that far apart. It was 3 pointers and field goal shooting. If you look at the statistics, it's really we allow them to shoot 50% from three and 55% from the field.
Yeah.
Uh,
60+ % pa nga nung first half yung 3-point
yeah,
shooting nila. So
I
medyo
sorry,
nag-cool down pa rin.
48% yung from the field. So uh, we're allowing too many easy baskets. And I think Coach Tim Go noticed that. I think the halftime report by Carlo Pamintuan, you noticed that. Uh, alam na eh.
Coach Tom Chua, pasok.
Or Tom Chua or anyone who knows how to coordinate a defense and just teach people how to mix it up defensively. I hope we can get someone like that. Okay, Sammy, yung
Okay.
let's go to our questions.
Yes. Okay. Let's go to our questions. I do have a couple here. Let's start with an easy one. Best player from Gilas was blank.
I'm actually going off the board. I'm not gonna go with Justin Brownlee. Although he was
Oh,
obviously,
okay.
I think you're gonna answer Justin Brownlee. I'm gonna go with Dwight Ramos. Because grabe, this guy, Sam, Dwight Ramos has been playing nonstop with Gilas since Tab Baldwin, since the pandemic. He's been a regular on Gilas, and over again, whether it's Coach Tab, Coach Chot, and Coach Tim, they can never seem to get this guy off the floor because he just does so many things on the court. That's a positive. He defends. He's probably
That's a
our
good
best
point.
perimeter.
All three
Diba?
coaches love him.
Yeah. I do remember Chot Reyes not subbing out Dwight Ramos in a game against New Zealand, ironically, in New Zealand. I do remember. I forget which tournament was this, but he didn't sub out Dwight Ramos for 14 minutes. Coach Stab played Dwight Ramos heavy. Well, he recruited yung Dwight Ramos, so yeah, I assume he loved yung Dwight Ramos' game. And now Coach Tim is finding out that he can't survive on, in a game without playing Dwight Ramos heavy minutes because he just does so many things on the court. He doesn't force things. He plays in the flow of whatever role you give him, he will play it. And he is such a smart player, picks his spots in the flow of the offense. Siguro the only knack you can give Dwight Ramos is that he's not a three-point shooter, although he
One
can
of
hit it,
six. Yeah.
but he's not a three-point shooter. Oh, he was one of six. He hasn't been shooting it well, but smart. They close out strongly. He'll take one dribble, you get the pull up, or two closeouts are coming. He'll drive to the basket, then spray it out to Justin Brownlee or drop it off to AJ Edu. Very smart player, and I think he's our best perimeter defender. Honestly, he can guard 1 to 3, even 1 through 4. He's a strong dude, athletic also. He can block shots, and just, he wasn't scoring much in the first quarter, but I think he had 5 assists or 4 assists in the first quarter. Same thing against Chinese Taipei. You don't see a scoring impact, but you look at the box score. Oh, he now has 5 assists. You know, he just continues to play within the system, does what you need him to do, doesn't demand the ball, diba? And just plays his role. And he's been the most, honestly, outside of Justin Brownlee, he's been the most consistent player in this version of Gilas. Uh, every single game, in and out, he has a positive impact on the court, and the coaches can't seem to get him off it. I thought Dwight was amazing, amazing, and I think we said this also a couple of years ago when it was Coach Chot Reyes yung still coaching. Sinasayang natin ang prime years ni yung Dwight Ramos by being too naturalized player centric or import centric, because Dwight Ramos is such a good player. He was a gem of a find by Coach Tab Baldwin to get him into the Gilas program, and there's a reason why he's lasted this long in the Japan B League. he he's just amazing. He does everything so well. He defends. He has active hands. He knows how to position himself for steals, for weak side blocks. He knows how to uh, play make for others. You get to the basket, draw fouls even. So Dwight Ramos, I think the best player, second to Justin Brownlee, because I think obvious naman with 37 points,
Obvious, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was Justin Brownlee.
Yeah, Dwight Ramos is a good pick, consistent, and always knows how to impact the game. I think that's why the coaches love him. Whether that's scoring or something else, diba? He can put his fingerprints on the game. I think the obvious answer here for Gilas is Justin Brownlee. We wouldn't even be sniffing a potential win or be that close to New Zealand if it were not for Justin Brownlee, lalo na yung third quarter when he waxed hot. It's just sad to think na this guy is closer to probably retiring than being at his prime, diba? Like, he's definitely past his prime, but when you get to watch him do what he does at like this age against like a team like New Zealand, mapapabilib ka talaga eh. Ibang klaseng halimaw din talaga tong si Justin Brownlee. Definitely deserves to be considered as one of the best imports in the PBA and as one of the best imports of Gilas. But to your point, sana meron pang iba, diba? Or like sana the others can find a way to contribute. But yeah, won't overthink it. Justin Brownlee, best player for Gilas. On the other hand, one player from New Zealand who hurt us the most. Eto, marami. Marami kang pwede piliin and basically the entire team pwede mo piliin. Who are you going with, Gab?
Well, I did mention si Taylor Britt and he did finish us off, but I do have to give a shout out to Jordan Ngatay, especially in the first half. Actually, Gilas lost his game in the second quarter. If you look back at quarter scoring, if you look back at the trends of the game, it was in the second quarter where Gilas really lost this game. And that was in large part to Jordan Ngatay, who 19 of his 22 points came in the first half. He was on fire, driving to the basket, beating anyone on him off the dribble. As I mentioned already, si Carl Tamayo, he took Carl Tamayo to school like 3 or 4 times when Carl Tamayo was inserted into the game. And other than that, just hitting threes, open threes, and at that. So I think he set the tone. He was hot in the quarter that New Zealand won the game at. So I gave it to Jordan Natay. I think he played the role that Vodanovich played when he was here in Moa Arena. Just a big bulky dude who can stretch the floor. Alam mo tong New Zealand, ang galing eh. They have big dudes, but every one of them can hit outside shots. Everyone, even si Darling. I didn't know si Darling could hit outside
Sabi nga
shots.
nila, if there's one guy that you can leave behind the 3-point line, si Darling. And then he was one of one. What the hell? What the hell,
Diba?
guys?
Uh, so uh, for Gilas fans, look how New Zealand constructed its roster. It was clear that they had a specific vision in mind that they're gonna shoot threes and they're gonna stretch the floor, and this is how they built their team. And look at the players that are here. Even yung big dude na si Smith Milner, he can even hit the three and stretch yung Junmar out. Diba? So, uh, kudos to New Zealand and Jordan Ngatay. What a name, by the way, Jordan Ngatay.
Jordan pa talaga eh, no? Jordan killed us. By the way, Jordan Ngatay probably is the best pick for this one. He also guarded Justin Brownlee for a lot of the
Yeah.
minutes. So I think if you're someone who's like hitting 5 of 5 from the three and guarding the best player of the other team, you deserve to be called the best player on your team. So I think Jordan Ngatay is definitely it. We talked about Brit. I really like what I saw from two other guys, uber athletic guys, si Cameron tsaka si King, si Mojave King, who I think is like playing for the G League apparently.
Lakers yan, bro!
Lakers! Let's go
Lakers!
Lakers! Apparently didn't have siya ng Lakers noong 2023. But yeah, another thing that New Zealand did was like get really athletic guys. Okay, moving on. This one's a true or false, Gab. True or false? Gilas showed no improvement versus the previous game.
Uh, it's hard to say no improvement. Siguro meron naman konti on offense. I mean, it was a uh, clear intention to get to the rim and to get more free throws, and I think we did that. We scored a lot of on mid rangers, and pero ang hirap sabihin yun ay improvement because I think that was what we expected with the triangle offense. A lot of shots near the
Ah.
basket, diba? But defensively, doon talaga ako yun nakatingin sa amin because that's what killed us against Chinese Taipei. And defensively, I don't know if we can say that we improved. We allowed halos the same amount of points. Diba?
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah, yeah.
95 ata or
95 sa Chinese Taipei.
Taipei. Now we allowed yung 94. We
Mhm.
allowed 50% shooting from three. We allowed nearly 49% from the field for New Zealand. A lot of undefended threes. Uh, it's hard to see that we showed improvement. And also, we're not hitting our threes as well. We hit 8 threes against Chinese Taipei. We hit 9 here, but 7 of them came from Justin Brownlee. None of us can hit threes. I think
Even the
KQ hit.
three-point shooters, diba? Si KQ,
Oh,
si Oftana,
yeah.
Tamayo. Those are the three-point shooters.
Oftana had a Tony Snell
Rough
0-0-0.
game.
Tough game from Calvin, back to back tough games from Calvin Oftana. So yeah, it's hard to say showed improvement kasi defensively we just didn't. It was the same problems. Yung even more pa nga eh. Kasi yung straight line drives, we're giving them those up as well. Layups. Hirap. Mukhang defensively talaga it's not Coach Tim Cohn's forte. Sami.
Uh, I'm I'm a little bit nicer dito. Para sa akin, they showed improvement. Pero to your point, may improve. So true, yung sagot ko is true. Pero to your point, pareho pa rin yung mga problema. Yung lahat nung na-mention mo actually nung previous episode, defense, um, si Junmar getting attacked, even the other guys are just laying up against the
And
whole team
Sammy,
of Gilas.
yung to your point of Junmar getting attacked, I don't know if anyone caught this. During the halftime break, they showed the New Zealand huddle. He, huling-huli
May
sa
message mo to.
huling-huli sa microphone yung sabi nung coach ng New Zealand, si Coach Flavel, was, if ever you get Fajardo on you, drive him. Those were the exact words. I'm like, wow,
Hindi
kita.
ako,
They
teka,
know.
hindi ako natatawa dun sa sinabi, na alam mo yung sinabi ng coach, pero natatawa ako na binigyan mo pa ng parang accent na ano ba to, New Zealand,
I don't,
Kiwi, Australian accent, parang Australian accent, ewan ko. Rate the accent,
alam,
guys. Comment down below.
I'm not sure if that was accurate, but that's how it
Oo nga
sounded
eh.
to me on my phone.
Baka racist na pala tayo.
If you get
But
Fajardo on you, drive him. That's what
everybody knows
huli-huli.
that.
Like,
Like,
like
kung ikaw
from,
nga naman ang coach ng kalaban ng Gilas, diba? You would do that also. Like, you would say that. Gab, even you, a Bolero, called that out already. Okay, moving on. True or false? Tim Cone should have gone to KQ more than Calvin Oftana. You mentioned Calvin Oftana had a rough day yesterday. Should he have gone with KQ more?
yes. I think we've said this before. It wasn't like KQ was of Tana was any better defensively than KQ was. I mean, KQ was still also allowed some drives to the basket, but so did Calvin of Tana. But at least KQ yung hit a three. Yeah, he got some turnovers there. I think there was a backdoor pass to Justin Brownlee that Justin Brownlee did not catch. I'm
I
not
thought
sure.
that was a good pass.
I thought that was a good pass. It just went through Justin Brownlee's hands. But yeah, I just think we needed more offensive options other than Justin Brownlee, especially in the fourth quarter. Uh, and yung when Gilas was just going to Justin Brownlee over and over again, we could have used another offensive guy to make plays offensively, and that's KQ's specialty. He's a playmaker. He's done that so many times before. Yeah, he may be erratic at times, flashy. I mean, that's been KQ's, I don't know, weakness. I wouldn't say weakness, but tendency since his college days yung with LaSalle. But I wouldn't mind it. I mean, Calvin of Thanos not doing anything. I thought you should have rolled the dice with the Kevin Kimbao. And not to mention that Kevin Kimbao is more athletic, taller. So I don't know. Scarl Tamayo, I can see why Coach Tim Cone benched him. I mean, he was getting destroyed defensively, but KQ was contributing more. I thought was better defensively. You can move better laterally. Has shown an improved lateral movement. So, oh yes, I mean,
Yeah, agree.
uh, over a 0-0 and a 0, I think KQ could have done more.
I agree. I think Calvin Oftana is a specialist. Definitely. Well, actually, he should be a better 3-point shooter than KQ, but the past few games hindi. But KQ offers more versatility. Yung na-mention mo, di ba? He can do other things that maybe a guy like Calvin Oftana can't do. So, I would have wanted to see that. Especially nung nag-stagnate na to just let Justin Brownlee score. If KQ was there, maybe he could have made different plays, made things look different, add a different dynamic, diba? So I agree, KQ should have played more. Moving on, speaking of minutes, two guys that did not play was CJ Perez and Jamie Malonzo. Was Coach Tim Cone right in not playing these two guys? Especially Jamie, 2 straight games na siya.
Si CJ Perez, I can see the reason. I mean, in first quarter, he started against Chinese Taipei and was cooked. Cooked, I think, 3 straight possessions. He was cooked by Chen. So I think he lost the confidence of Coach Tim Cone. Or he was sick. I don't know. Yung but But to me, I think he was just in the doghouse for how he started the game against Chinese Taipei. The Jimmy Malonzo one for 2 straight games, I cannot fathom why. I think I replied to this in one of our commenters' comments in the past episode. Why was Jamie Malonzo benched? Sabi ko, I don't get it also. Because he played for him in Ginebra. He knows the system, so
He
there's
knows
no
the
excuse.
system, yeah.
There's no excuse that he's not familiar with the system, etc., etc. He's tall, lengthy, athletic, everything you need
Relatively
defensively.
younger compared to the
Oh,
other guys.
oh,
He's in
you
the
can
middle.
rotate, di ba?
Yeah.
Has shown the ability to stretch the floor, can shoot, can run the floor. I think the announcers you called this out that we have to up the pace a little bit because we were getting easy baskets in the third quarter and some in the second easy baskets, diba? Off off fast break. So yung Jamie Malonzo thrives in those. He's as fast at yung athletic wing. And if we were gonna continue to go small, which I think we should have stretched it out a little bit, I thought Jamie Malonzo yung could have been used there. But I don't get it. Is this an internal problem thing that there's bad blood between him leaving Ginebra and Coach Timko? Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't make sense because we lack defenders, help defenders, fast
Length.
defenders, length, diba? Athleticism. We lack that. We're old, and this is a young guy who has all of those. I don't get it. So that one I really don't get. If anyone knows if there's something going on with Jamie Alonso and Coach Tim Cohn or the management, please let us know. He looked like a defeated person on the bench. Honestly, whenever they would pan to Jamie Alonso, he was just staring
Napansin ko
blankly.
din yun. Yeah.
No,
Parang he wasn't into it. 'Di ba? Tapos
no,
parang wala, parang appear lang siya. Support lang, ganyan. But like,
no. So
yeah,
I
he
don't
wasn't
know.
there. Yeah.
So it looks like his mind is not there anymore. Given he's been benched for 2 straight games, and if that's the case, sayang yung roster spot. He could have given it to somebody else if we're not gonna use Jamie Malonzo because of
True.
whatever reason. So yun, ako the CJ Perez one I get. The Jamie Malonzo for 2 straight games not playing when we need his skill set. That to me is baffling.
Secret weapon pala eh, no? One more true or false question. It was a better performance for Junmar Fajardo. True or false? He
Of
proved us wrong.
uh, kung proved us wrong, false ang sagot ko. But better performance, definitely true. Oh, I think the numbers back it up. I think he had 11
Mm-hmm.
points and 4
11
rebounds.
points.
Scored early on. Uh, at least was bodying up si Smith Milner and yung NC Darling was challenging at the rim. But better uh, you proved us wrong. No, I think we just mentioned it. He was a target by New
He was
Zealand.
targeted pa rin.
He was targeted, and the first quarter you saw it. Every drive was either on Junmar Fajardo or attacking the help of Junmar Fajardo, and Junmar could not get there. When he needed to protect the rim, he could not get there. It's the same problems for Junmar yung defensively. Siguro we have to go back to how either Coach Chot Reyes used them only in certain spots. Remember, Coach Chot, he would really go with Andre Blatch at center, stretch the floor a little bit more for guys like Jason Castro to penetrate. Siguro, gano'n na lang siguro yung role ni Junmar ngayon because he really just gets taken advantage of
Specialist.
defensively. Yeah, as a specialist, a guy you throw the ball into inside, maybe give a different look Sammy offensively when you need something to mix it up a little bit. But for long stretches, for 25 minutes in a game, I don't think we can use Junmar. Too slow.
Oo
He's
nga,
just too
no?
slow
25
now.
minutes pala siya.
Yeah, he played 25 minutes. And two bigs, Coach Tim, come on. We can't play two bigs. AJ Edu and Junmar Fardo at the same time against a team that where everyone can shoot, all five guys can shoot, and you play two bigs, one who's really slow. I don't get it. I don't get that one move, honestly. Especially, as I said, he came off a third quarter where the zone worked, went back to two bigs. I'm like, what? What's the thinking behind this? So, yun. Junmar, better game, but did not prove us wrong at all. I think he's not fit anymore for the international style of play. Um, Teams will have scouted him over and over again that whenever he's on the court, we go at Junmar Fajardo. Sammy.
Yeah, definitely a better performance for Junmar. Pero para sa akin, he still deserves to be part of Gilas. As a 12th man or specialist nga, sabi mo, I think there's still a role for him. You mentioned, para lang change of
you
pace,
you can teach
change of
height
offense.
din naman sa amin. I mean, you need height
Exactly.
and he does have height. So,
And
pero
and
for
the skill, 'di
long
ba?
stretches
Skill
talaga,
wise
oh,
as a big man, as a post-up player, he still has the skill. Pero tama ka, not 25 minutes every game. Especially against a team where all the bigs can shoot threes. Buti kung like post-up bigs lang din yung kalaban niya where he can just stay sa ilalim, 'di ba? But when all the bigs are shooting threes, then they really stretch the floor. Mahirap ilaro si Junmar. So I think in that sense, like, we can't expect much from Junmar. No disrespect, one of the, if not the GOAT PBA player,
he's still
pero
the GOAT. I think he's the
yeah.
GOAT.
Pero he's past his prime. Yun na lang yun. Last question, and this might be a hot take. Uh, if Gilas loses all games of the Asia Cup, so may isa pa tayong, at the very least, may isa pang game, diba? Iraq. Should we find another coach for Gilas?
Uh, I th- I think I messaged you this, Sammy. I think yes. I'm sorry to all the Coach Tim Cone supporters out there, PBA supporters, Ginebra supporters. I don't know if I've given up, but I'm close. I'm close to giving up on Coach Tim because defensively he's just very limited. I just think he knows man to man, does not want to go zone, or is very much resistant to it unless completely necessary, as we've seen in the Latvia game or Georgia game, forgot. And in this game, he'll only go to it in short stretches. Does not want to mix up his defense. Goes with what he knows. Goes with man to man. But we don't have the personnel to go straight up man to man for an entire game. We have to mix it up. We have to give different looks. I think he said this against Macau. He admired how Macau gave them different looks defensively. Chinese Taipei, you did the same thing. From possession to possession, from moment to moment in each game. They give different looks. Same thing with New Zealand. They're able to adjust, be creative, uh, and if that's the way our defense is gonna look like without you, even with Kai Soto, our defense look like that. I think we need a more creative coach defensively, or if he's gonna stay on, at least have a defensive coordinator take over the
Mm.
defense. And
Mm.
Coach Tim, I'm sorry, but we have to be more creative. We can't just go man to man the entire game, just man to man, and never adjusting, never having schemes defensively, never being creative, continuing with drop coverage. Uh, Mahirap. We will not survive playing defense like this. And it's not like it's a one game thing. Alam ko dati when I complained of this long ago, I think when we won against New Zealand, I did complain about it, our 3-point defense. Sabi nila, oh, intentional yan by Coach Tim Cone. And para sa akin, yeah, if this is intentional for this many games in the international stage, count me out. Count me out.
Okay, I do have a different take here. Yung question kasi says, if Gilas loses all games of the Asia Cup, the current Asia Cup, should we find another coach? I think Coach Tim Cone still deserves a bit more leeway. I wouldn't replace him immediately, even if they lose all games of the Asia Cup. You mentioned, I think someone in the comment section mentioned then na it's unfair daw to judge Tim Cone and this team kasi hindi to complete. A big part of why he was successful early on was he had Kai Soto. I do agree, yes, okay, Kai Soto is injured. This is not a complete team. Pero he has to make adjustments. And I think to your point, Gab, what frustrates you is the lack of adjustments, diba? So definitely on that end, he maybe Coach Tim Cone deserves some flack. Pero I wouldn't
Maybe he's
replace
more like
him.
Chot Reyes than you give him credit for.
That's what people are saying now. So Coach Shot fans, Coach Tim fans, TNT versus Ginebra, comment down below. Pero I wouldn't replace him immediately. I think masyado ding abrupt. I would give this team more time, more chances. But long term, I do think ang take ko dito is they should just hire a non-PBA coach. And this is my bakit non-PBA coach? Para walang loyalty to any team, to any corporation, purely loyalty to the country, and para focus talaga siya sa Gilas, not on any competition or team or even college team. I'm saying kahit college siya. So non-PBA, non-UAAP coach dapat. Norman Black, ngayon wala, parang ano lang consultant. Example lang. But I'll go even beyond that. Sorry, I'm like expanding the conversation. Maybe I think Gila should just be a non-PBA team. Non-PBA coach, non-PBA team. Para lang the players, the coaches can focus really on just preparing for Gilas. Kasi it's different eh. To be fair to like the PBA players, playing in the PBA is different than like playing internationally. Gab, you mentioned it. Like PBA may tendency maging import centric sometimes, no. And sa international, it's really like threes, open lanes to the basket. I think it's also unfair to the PBA players, guys like CJ Perez, Junmar, Calvin Oftana. They just came from the game 7 of the finals, like what, 2-3 weeks ago, and then
Hindi ba game
um
6? Na-game
ay
7
sorry,
ba?
game 6. Oh, sorry. Basta they just came from the finals like a few weeks ago. A lot of them are injured. Si Junmar actually has a calf injury. Alam naman natin how dangerous a calf injury is. And they're expected to perform in the international stage. So ang hirap, and hard din naman to ask the PBA to always adjust. So I would say just recruit, change the coach, can change the team, go with non-professional players. Anyway, half the team now are non-PBA players. Dwight, Kai, AJ, Edu, Carl Tamayo, KQ. So there's not a lot to change, diba? So more of like long term yon. That's my take. But short term, I wouldn't change Tim Cone muna. I'll give him the chance.
Let us know below. Do you agree? Should we keep Coach Tim Cone or should we look elsewhere?
And kung sino yung gusto nyong kunin. Like, if you're suggesting to replace him, dapat meron kayong recommendations. Any last words before we go?
There's still hope. I think we should
Despite
beat.
sharing all your frustrations,
Oh,
meron pa ring hope para sa'yo.
frustrated ako, pero nanonood pa rin ako.
Yeah, that's true. Nanonood pa rin tayo.
Nanonood pa rin ako, nag-cheer pa rin ako. Nung nag-run si Justin Brown in the third quarter,
Saya
man, I
natin
was
no?
shouting
Oo.
silently because I was beside my sleeping wife. But I was shouting on the inside, let's go! Diba? I still cheer my heart out for this national team. I love basketball. I love the Philippines. So there's still hope. I think we should be able to beat Iraq. I mean, medyo malayo ata yung skill set ng Iraq sa atin. Skill set natin sa Iraq. and our experience compared to Iraq's, I think we should be able to beat Iraq. If we don't, it's gonna be such a tragedy for Gilas Filipinas not to get a single win in the group stage. But the road is harder. I think if we continue on this path where we're eventually gonna have to play the top seeds in any of the other groups. And that means teams like Australia, teams like Japan, and
Mm-hmm.
that road is going to be tough. It's not looking good. But
Yeah.
uh, take it game by game, Gilas. Take it game by game. Hopefully, some adjustments are made by game, and it's not yet over until the fat lady sings. So let's go, Gilas. Let's go.
Nanonood pa rin tayo. Let's go. That's it for today's episode. Comment down below your thoughts on those questions that we asked. Um, we'll see you again next time. We'll talk about the next game, the game against Iraq. For UAAP content, I think my Wolves, yung Lasal and UP. Let's see.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I think it starts August 9, so we'll cover that too. We'll see you again next time. Share this video, subscribe. Bye-bye.